Yeah, good afternoon, everyone, and I welcome you to this event. As we are still waiting for others to join, I'm just going to be giving a small introduction to this second cohort of the online Scratch coding workshop for children. Most of you may have heard of Scratch coding, or you may know the relevance of knowing to program computers, and you also know the future lies to the future language is going to be programming, and that's why we believe that every child has a right to know. Now, we have been conducting these activities since 2018, and most of them have been at Makerere University, Chambogo University, Bustema, at public universities, and also inside schools. But then last year we started having them online, and basically we just be interacting with each other, we learn from each other, and at the end of the training, we have a competition, and also after some time you get a chance to interact with other creators around the world, and also listen to, we shall be inviting some guests at the end, so you can interact with them and see what is being done in other countries, and also compare with, we want to ensure that every country, every child has equal opportunities in the whole world. So we don't want to see children in the United States making robots, yet for us here in Africa, we can only make phones from mud. So that's what we want to change, and that's why we are having these sessions. So you can just text in the chat. We expect everyone to be, this should be the first time. We always have cohorts. For the first cohort has their own, we always begin with 1 week, which we just do the introduction and then try to learn about the basics. Then the following week is what we call the ignite phase for each particular cohort to now advance in their coding skills. Then we have the last stage is the launch, where now we try to do more realistic projects using. So for this case, you can just we expect all of you to be coming for the first time, because we only allowed people who are interacting with Scratch or maybe coding for the first time for this particular cohort. So you can text in the chat, just tell us who you are, which school you come from, maybe what are your aspirations and what you expect to learn from this. And if you want to talk as I will be speaking, you just feel free to use to raise up your hand. There is that icon, or maybe where you can share your hand, where we have reactions. You can just raise up your hand, then I can unmute you. Then you can be able to speak to us. But if you have a question, or if you want to say something, just feel free to text in the chat. We are going to be, this is not going to be like a geography class, history class. It's not going to be like social studies. It's not going to be like those hard science lessons you always have at school. No, this is a playful way. What we are doing is we want you to be, to learn in a playful way. And we understand the concepts of science, technology, engineering, and mathematics in a playful way, a way that doesn't bore. So we are going to be developing games. We are going to be developing animations, developing applications which help us to understand different concepts in STEM. And we are going to be doing this in a playful way. So no one should get scared that, oh my God, I have to be so bad to be. This is not going to be tough. And it's just the easiest way. And this is just the introduction. We know all of you don't know about computer. We know all of you don't know about programming. So this workshop is for you to just explore what happens out there when people develop what you see on the screen. You see animations, what happens when people develop what we call the behind the scenes of these animations we watch, the behind the scenes of the games we play. This workshop is just going to give you that overview and then teach you how to do that. Then the Ignite stage, for those of you who will qualify. So let me just make this clear. We always have each cohort. And for each cohort, we give opportunity to everyone who applies and they qualify. Then if you're selected to come to such a session, it's upon you to understand and ask as many questions as you can. Then at the end of the 6 days, there is going to be a project presentation. It's like a competition where you present your project to show us that you really understood what we were teaching you. And those who qualify to go to there are a few who are selected to move on to the Ignite stage, where now they learn advanced programming. And also we give some gifts, of course, to the winners. There are always gifts. We are always going to have competitions throughout the year. Throughout the year, we are going to be giving you opportunities to participate in competitions where you can win many prizes, including mobile tablets. We always give gifts which help you in programming. So you should expect things like mobile tablets, things like computer, things like bangles, according to the competitions you'll be participating in. We have competitions which allow you to participate at the continent level, which we call the Africa Code Challenge. We have the competition which will allow you to participate with the rest of all the continents around, and you also get the exposure to see what these people really do, and to also give you inspiration that you have made changes in your life. We are also going to be giving you a chance to see what projects are done out there and what other kids are making. If you go to our YouTube channel, you can also see what other kids have been doing throughout the years. I told you we started in 2018. And we are going to be having workshops like machine learning and artificial intelligence. When I talk about machine learning and artificial intelligence, to you, you may understand robots because you've watched them on TV. So this is what you're supposed to be making. This is what you're supposed to be learning when you're still young, not when you are already at university. But it's going to be very, very simple to learn this. So without wasting time, I just request if you feel like you want us to know you and maybe which school you're coming from, and maybe if you've ever programmed, maybe what you want to be. Some of you want to be astronauts, you want to go to space. Some of you want to be programmers. I particularly am a programmer, I'm a developer. I did computer engineering at my first degree. And I really love every day to make games. I love to make many mobile applications, and I've made so many of them, and I love doing it. Some of you want to be doctors. Some of you want to be civil engineers. You want to be teachers. My dad is a teacher. You want to be nurses. Whatever you want to be, just know that you can never do it without ICT. And that's why we want everyone to know ICT, because the future is already here, by the way, as you have been seeing this year and last year, people who didn't know ICT were struggling to access education. And this is because the governments didn't prepare themselves before, because this was an emergency, but then we want the next emergency to find us prepared. That's why we are struggling to see that everyone, at least in all African countries, access, or they know ICT and how to use it to make life better. So I'm just going to start over, and you can always introduce yourself in the chat or raise up your hand. Now, let me just stop sharing this and I share another screen. So my name is Solomon, and I work with I work with Makerere Innovation Society as a president of Makerere Innovation Society. I'm also the co-founder, or I started Kawalet, which is an innovation that's going to help you, that's helping children to access mobile money services without having to possess mobile phones at schools. So we just developed what I did. This is what we call innovation. You look at, and this is what we're going to be teaching you, and that's what we teach at Makerere Innovation Society. We teach you how to, now particularly me, I went to school and I used to struggle to save my money it used to be stolen. And whenever I would want to receive money from my parents, it was always hard. So now that was a problem which I saw in schools. And what I did is I looked for ways of solving that problem. That's what we call innovation. So for me, I came up with these key holders, which have an account number, and each student gets it, and a parent can send you money at any time, and you can withdraw the money within schools. You can also keep your money on this key holder without hassling. The posting is free. You only charge small transaction charges when you're withdrawing or sending money to any student in any school around Uganda and Kenya. So now when we talk about that, this is what we want you also to do. We want to teach you how to open up your mind, and to support you when you have an idea and you want to make something. How do you go about it? How do you develop what you want to do? Because it's never too late, and it's never too early for you to learn. And we are going to be learning this in stages. According to some of you, we know we are considering ages between 6 and 18 years. That's why we are not going to be rushing. So let me share my screen and we start. Sorry, I don't know why my screen is not sharing. Okay, there we go. Now, so Scratch coding, maybe before we even know about Scratch coding, we want to know what computer programming is. And some of you may have already learned about this, but it's something very, very simple when you look at a computer, you see a computer helps us to do things in an easy way. And when we see the computer performing all the tasks, the computer helping us to watch movies, the computer helping us to write notes, or maybe to make our own games, this is not magic which is happening. These computers also they listen to us, and they listen to our instructions, they listen to our commands, and then they do them. And you can relate that with the robots. A robot is instructed, just like a dog. A dog can be trained to listen to understand your instructions, and you can even interact. It would be magic. Maybe for me, when I was still young, I used to think that it's magic to see someone talking with the dog, someone talking with his cow, and they understand each other. So this is also, it's something happens with computers. They have a language which they can understand when we speak to them, and this language is called a programming language. It's what we call coding. Coding is the process of writing these instructions. Now, I'm speaking English. I speak also Luganda, I speak Swahili, but those are human languages. Computers have what we call computer languages, but I'm not meaning that now they speak to each other in their language. These computer languages help us to speak to them, and also them to speak to us. So I'm not going to be talking too much. I'm going to be doing more than talking. So just maybe a little bit about what I just said, that it's a process of writing a list of instructions that you want the computer to follow in order, in a certain order. These instructions have to be in order. You have all been going to school. Some of you have been in day schools, and you can't just wake up in the morning and maybe before even washing your face, you say, I wake up. The process, your daily process, you can't say that you wake up and then you maybe go to town, and after going to town, you come back and polish your shoes, then you boil tea, then you take tea, then you brush your teeth, you wash your face. That's unstructured. That is a wrong way. So even computers, if you tell them, if you talk to them in a way which is not organized, they will not listen to you. Computers like people who are organized. So you have to be organized while we're writing these instructions. They have to follow order. For example, you see, this is James. He's my best companion. He first eats breakfast, then he goes to school, then he goes home, then he eats dinner and sleeps. That's his life. That's his typical day. So you can't say that for him, he sleeps, then goes home, then eats dinner, then go to school, then eat breakfast. The computer, the robot will be like, no, this is not my friend. Now, so one program, Scratch, but before we talk about Scratch anyway, how many languages, if you know of any language in programming, if you know any language which a computer can understand, just feel free to text in the chat. Just write it in the chat if you know any language. I've said that a computer language, is a language which helps us to communicate or to speak to the computer. So if you know of any language that can enable us to speak to computers, just write it in the chat. Let me see who has an idea. I can see Nicholas, that's cool, Python. Then I can see Deogracious codes. Codes are instructions, so it's not a language. I can see Tendo saying C++. Wow, you guys know some, those are secondary or maybe high-end, high-level languages. Then I see Arduino, perfect. I personally love Arduino because it helps me to develop hardware projects. Then let's see more languages. We already have C#. Yeah, C# is very good. And Arduino is a language, yes, C++, then Python. I love Python. Python is one of the famous languages. We shall learn Python there's a level for learning Python for you guys, and you're going to enjoy it when we reach during that week when we shall be learning Python. We have also Java. Yeah, Java is good, but it's a little bit hard for children. Then JavaScript, very good. Yeah, so I can see you understand languages. Control is not a language. Sorry, Tendo. Now, these languages, you've already heard of them. Most of them, you can't teach a child how to use, but we have what we call languages which are graphical. It's just like you're playing a brick game. I know most of you have played brick games, if not the mechanical ones, or you've made your own brick game out of sand, mud, then you played it. So a brick game, I'm not saying you've all built houses. I know we have all built houses when we were young. I remember the first house I built when I was in primary. It was having 6 stairs. I was a very, very good architect, but that's the process of growth. So we also bring that concept. We used to build those houses. We used to arrange small bricks in order, in a systematic way, such that the house doesn't fall down. So even in programming, we are going to be having blocks. Scratch is a language, and it has a software which enables you to build instructions, to write instructions in a way that a computer can understand them. We shall also be showing you how Scratch is, which instruction means what in C++, in Java. That will come when we are now moving forward to the high-end languages with you. That it's a language, or it's a program that allows us to make simple games, videos, stories, and also gives us the tools to make our own program. So that's how easy it's going to be. We're just going to be using blocks. This is HTML. We shall learn HTML during the Ignite phase. It's difficult when you see right now. You would even if I went to a lecture when I was just imagine you went to senior 1, or you went to a P6 class, and you find this on the blackboard, then you'd be like, you would go back to your dad before even he leaves the school and say, Dad, I think I want another school. I'm not ready to be in this school. Because first of all, you can't understand anything. This is too much. And I personally, I hate seeing a lot of notes. I hate seeing things which give me hard time to understand. So this is what we call a high-end language. These are just characters. They are symbols which are put together, but a computer understands them. You get it? So we shall get to that. This is HTML. It's the simplest. Some people don't consider it as a language. Some people do, but it's used basically to come up with websites. In our Ignite phase, everyone will be required to make a website. You can also get inspiration from our YouTube channel. We shall send you the channel and you see kids making websites after just 1 week of training. So it will also be easy after we learning Scratch. Then now we are going to start with Scratch, and I'm just going to share maybe a link for you to some of you who are already I don't know if you have already installed if you have already installed the Scratch software on your computer, just text in the chat. If you haven't, then let me share with you the link. Then we start. Let me share the screen which has my browser, and then we start small. Oh, sorry, I was muted. I was talking to myself. Thank you very much, Mugenyi, for that. So I was just saying that I want you to follow that link that I've shared in the chat. Then once you follow that link, you're going to come up with this page, which I'm going to display here. Let it load, and then you're going to be able to download. If you're using it on your computer, it's okay. But if you want, you can use it on your phone. Most people use it on their phones, but it's better if you don't have a computer. Then it's when you can use it on the phone. So when you reach this, if it can't install on your phone, you just click on create here. Then you're going to work online, and we shall send you an application which you can install after this session through the WhatsApp. We have a WhatsApp group where we always send these resources, or we shall send you via email. But if you can install on your computer, just click that link here, and then if you're using a Windows computer, you just click here, Windows. Then you're going to click here, download, where there is download. And if you're using a Mac, you click on Mac, and then you click direct download. If you're using a phone, Android, you come down here and then click on get it on Play Store. Then you can install it. So this should not take a while. You can be installing. If you feel like it's going to waste much time for you, then you just click on create. When you're on this site, you will see create here. When I click create, it's going to definitely take me to where I can just do it online. So let me see. Someone is saying, excuse me, our link can't open. Let me share it again. And if you want to share your screen and show me, if it fails, you just share, you just tell me to allow you to share the screen, and then I see what's happening, and then I can troubleshoot and we find a solution to that. So I can see, let me unmute. So you can unmute, Barnabas. Unmute, I see your hand raised up, so you can unmute and say. Okay, perfect. Ethan has it.
So I send that.
You're breaking. I can't hear you very well. I don't know whether it's my network.
I'm using a format. I have a PC.
Barnabas, come again.
So I was watching that.
Sorry, we lost him. But you can always put in the chat if the network is happening.
Yes.
What were you saying? I wasn't hearing you.
I was saying that right now I'm using.
Sorry, we lost him. But you can always put in the chat if the network is happening. Okay, sorry, we lost you. But I can see Fabian saying, what about a laptop? Yes, it's better on a laptop. Just follow that link, click on that link on your laptop. Then you're going to see the download link coming up. I encourage you to install it, because when you install it, you will not be requiring to be on internet to do the programming. But if you don't install it, you will be requiring to have internet, to connect to internet before you. So yeah, so if you have already installed it, you can also just do as Tendo has done. You just text in the chat and say you've installed it. So Nicholas says, they say my device isn't compatible. Is it a phone? So if it's a phone and it's not compatible, just click on create. Then I'll send you the link which has the version which can be installed on any phone. I think we shall have to send you emails for this particular cohort. Then, okay, Mugenyi, you try maybe to share your screen. Let me give 2 minutes for each. If you have a challenge, share your screen and I see what is happening. Share your screen and I see what it's bringing before we can proceed. Then I can guide you. Create is just above there. If you can share your screen, I can be able to show it, to direct you if you're willing to do that. Yes, you have the online editor now. That's perfect. Yeah, even Farid has the application. Very good. So we are good to go. Now, okay, so first go up. Just stay on the scratch. I don't know, on phone. Okay, now try to make your phone turn. I want your phone to be, rotate your phone. I want your phone to be like in landscape mode. Good. Okay, now create is there. So you click on create, then you'll be good to go. But I'm going to send you the application today. You just remind us. Let me first even send the WhatsApp. You can send the WhatsApp message so we can send you the link immediately. Okay, thank you very much for sharing the link again. So Barnabas, you can follow that link. Now, anyone else wants to share? If you also have a challenge, just share your screen and then we can guide you within the remaining 1 minute. Then we start over, of course. We have to do something today. So if no one is sharing their screen, then I'm just going to share mine and then we we walk through this. So I can see Mugenyi. Mugenyi, you want to share? Okay. Let's first give a chance to Fabian, then Mugenyi will come next. I can see, as if you didn't click the link that I gave you. Just use the link I gave you. Such links will lead you to use the one I gave you, the one I've just sent right now. Just click on it, then you're going to be on the website. Use the link of, sorry, if you can't, I don't know whether everyone can see me, but you have to use this link. So we also have Mugenyi, you still want to say something? All right, I hope everyone is also trying to install, trying to use the Create. You can only use the online version. You can install, then we start over. And don't you worry, today is not going to be very hard. Today we are going to have a simple interaction. As so I was muted. Thank you very much. I didn't know I was muted. What I was saying is, thank you very much for that. So what I was saying, you can either download the application, by following the link in the chat, or you can just click create, and then you work online as we are going to be doing, so you don't be left behind. And so this is how the software looks like. As you can see, there are blocks here, which most of you, if you've played brick game, you have always used those. You just keep on getting these blocks, then you drag them to some point, and then they have to follow order, and then you have your own house. But this now, we're not building a house here. We are building instructions. We are building what we call an algorithm, a set or a list of instructions that tell a computer what to do. So the cut here, maybe if we just go to the next stage to say, just to try to talk about this platform. This side here, you're seeing bricks. This is called the code section. It's where we get the blocks of code. And this place here where you see a white space, this is what we call the coding area. Now, this is where you get the blocks and drag them here in systematic order for them to be, and this is where you see what happens. Whichever animation you've selected, you will always see it here. And so just stop annotating my screen. Sorry about that. So now let's proceed. Don't. You will annotate later. I'll give you a chance to annotate the screen, but not now. Now, I was saying, this is the screen. Whatever instructions you put here, they will always you will always see what you're doing from here, as I'm going to illustrate when you start a program. And as you know, we have to, when we are making animations, we make them to move, we make them to jump, to talk, to do whatsoever. We add backgrounds. We can make a lot of stuff, and some of the animations are already here. This icon here is called, in Scratch, we call them sprites. They are the ones we give instructions if you are coming up with maybe a game to be the characters in your game, or maybe in your movie, your animation movie. And we also have backgrounds here. This is where we have stage. When you click here, you will always see a stage. And just maybe to give a better example, let's first see the next slide. So for the first example, we are going to make our first hello world. We're just going to make an instruction or a program which makes this cut to say hello world, and to just say greeting. This is always the first line in any programming language, as you're going to see. So let me just share the screen for Scratch, and we start. So let me start my Scratch, since I already installed it. And I just share my screen for my Scratch. So I'm going to be slow, but if I'm fast, or if you don't understand anything, just raise up your hand, or you can text in the chat, and then we don't leave anyone behind. So this is what we were saying. This is called the code area, and this is the code section. This is the code area, and this is the screen where we see whatever we are doing here, where it's displayed, and we can see that we are on the right track, or we need to adjust something. So I just want to make this cut to talk, but there are a lot of sprites here, as I was telling you. You can choose sprites in the library. You can paint your own. You can download others from the internet and upload them here. If you like maybe a character in a particular animation or a game, you can get it and use it in your game. And also backgrounds here. We have our own backgrounds here in Scratch, but you can always paint yours using this, or you can upload those from the internet. Then even sprites, we have many here, which are already there in Scratch. If you don't like them, you can paint your own. You can download from the internet. We are going to learn all that. So what I want to do is, I want to first maybe talk about these these blocks. So in the code section, we have sections. Maybe we can say elements of this code section, which if I wanted to access something, okay, if I wanted to make maybe this cat to walk, in my mind, I'll just think of motion, because motion is all about moving things. So if I go to motions and I want to make it move, I'll just get this block and I put it there, then I'll be able to make it move. So I see Ronald has a question. Please go ahead, unmute, and just ask your question or say something. Okay, Ethan, go ahead.
When you have like move 10 steps, can it work without when clicked flag? Can it move 10 steps?
It can't work. We are just still illustrating. We have not started making the program. Thank you very much for the curiosity. And it can't work without, it can't be a good program when it doesn't have the green flag. But if you click on it, it will show you that it's moving, but it's not a complete program. You get it? Do you have another question, Ethan? Okay. Now, then I was now going to, this is all about moving. Then if I want to do, maybe if I want something to change appearance, or if I want another costume, when I talk about costumes, now let me jump in here. When you watch cartoons, when you watch animations on TV, and then you watch a real movie, you'll find a difference, because at least it's better, it's easier to understand that the normal movies, we use cameras to record clips, or maybe we record small sections, maybe during night, maybe at some particular place. Then we put them together to combine to make a movie. How about cartoons? Do they record them using cameras? No, there is no world which has cartoons. There is no world which has the teddy bears which we see in the movies. So what we see in this cartoon or in these animations, they're just pictures. You can also you can put together many pictures and they appear as if they are a movie. When we get to advanced programming, you'll be hearing me talking about frames. So these pictures, when we get to advanced programming, they will be called frames. When you put these frames together, they can make a video. So the same thing here, we call them costumes here. When you put the costumes together, they can make something to be as if it's a video or something to be in motion. Now, this card here has, when you come here to costumes, before I even go further, it has two costumes. So when you program it that to be moving from one costume to another, it will be appearing as if it's walking, just like you can see. There are also there are sprites which have many costumes, and we encourage you, when you're making your characters, make them to have even 100 costumes. It will appear as if it's a normal person. The more the costumes, the more the person really appears, or the animation really appears like a normal person. And we shall get to that. We shall be illustrating that in the Ignite stage. So now I was also talking that this is now looks. When I go to looks, when I wanted to go to the next costume, I just get the next costume, or I get a switch to costume, maybe to this. I'm just using these examples, but I'm not saying that this is how you are supposed to arrange them. So then we have sound. If you want to add voices, of course, it's a boring game if it doesn't have sound. It's a boring animation when the cartoons are not talking. It's a boring game if it's just so quiet. So you can always add sound through this. So events, just like Ethan was saying, you can never you can never drive a car without using the key, or maybe using the start button. So this is just like the start button, or the key or the ignition key for the car. Now, so I can see in the chat, I didn't understand what costumes is exactly. Don't worry. When we start doing, just in the next 1 minute, we are going to start doing, and you're now going to understand what these things do. It can't be better explained without doing. So let me just first go through them, then we can see how they really work. Then these events, you can always use any event. If I want, when someone plays my game, I can say whenever they click a green flag, the game starts, or whenever they click maybe space bar on their computer, it starts, or whenever they click maybe right arrow or any key, or there are a lot or numbers, whatever you choose. If I say whenever someone presses 7, my game should start, then this will always be the instruction that a computer will always the computer first looks at this, the event. What am I going to do? If a computer doesn't find this, it doesn't do anything. That's why Ethan was telling us that it can't move without having the event. So we have to first always go to events, because this is where the computer starts from before trying to execute or do whatever we want. So this is control to change how things behave. You get, we are going to be using this. We are going to be having to put conditions. They may seem hard for you when you look at them right now, but they are very, very easy to use, as we are going to be doing. Sensing, of course, for example, if you're making a robot which cannot sense that a car is coming, just imagine you made a robot and it walks on the street of Kampala without knowing that cars will come and it will not go aside. That will be a fake robot. A good robot should sense, first sensing other objects, sensing colors, sensing. So we are going to be sensing a lot of things. Here we're not going to be doing the robot right now, but we are going to be making maybe this cut or maybe other animations to sense that this is now, I've reached maybe the end of this road, I have to turn, or maybe I'm touching this. There are a lot of, when you click on this sensing, you will see a lot. And those that you don't understand, be assured that you're going to understand them by the end of this week. Then we have operators. Mathematics is always everywhere. I encourage you to fall in love with math. So even in programming, you can't do programming. You can't do anything in programming when you don't apply mathematics. And we are going to be showing you how to apply it here. Then variables. Variables is like, now, for example, you want to add the score to your game. You want to add the health. When I always play this game, some games have health. Some games give you a chance to adjust maybe the speed. So you can always use a variable. A variable is just like a bucket where we store information, or it's something which can change. When I come to layman language, in real life, a variable is just like age. My age changes over time, and that's why it's a variable, because it's not permanent. I'm not permanently 18. Today I'm 18, tomorrow I'm 19, I'm 60 after some years. So it keeps on changing, but it's all stored in a place called age. When someone wants to know, maybe for example, in your school, when someone wants to know your age, the age of all students at maybe, let's say, Theta High, they will just go to age, the bucket which has age of all students, then they look for Ethan, or maybe they look for Mugenyi or Ivan, then they get their age. It's already there. No, it's stored. Just like you have a cupboard at home. When you know the partition, there's that segment which you know that these are plates for home and these are plates for visitors. If you ever touch the partition which has plates for visitors, then you know your mom is going to kill you. So the same thing happens in here. We create a variable and we say now this is a variable which stores only age for girls. If you're a boy, your age will never be stored here. So we shall be using variables here. Then my blocks, sometimes when you grow with Scratch, you will find out that you've used up all the blocks of code here and you want new blocks. You can always create your own blocks, or you can create what we call functions, a block which is one but summarizes hundreds of instructions just in one line like this. And we're going to teach you how. So let me just take some questions here. They are similar to keyframes in animation. Yes, yeah, that's what I was talking about. I'm happy that you already know some good animation. Then teacher, it's good if I install offline editor. Yes, you can install offline editor for now. Offline editor is not you can install offline editor because you will not need to be on the internet. Just like me, mine is an offline editor. But if it can't install on your phone, that's why I said you can just click on create. But if you are using a computer, it's easier to install a computer or a laptop. You can install, for some phones, they can install the offline editor. I see someone raising up their hand. Just please go ahead. If you have any question, just raise up your hand and speak right away. So let's try to make one program to understand this. We said the first thing we are going to do is to make this card to say hello. So hello world. The first thing I'm going to do is hello world, which is always the first. Barnabas, you have a question? Okay, I'll be giving a chance after every 5 minutes. So you have a question, or you can text in the chat such that we don't waste much time. We want at least to learn something. Let me just give you a few seconds to ask your question or say something. So as I proceed, we say the first thing to do is you can change this card. For now, I just want to make this card to say hello. And to say hello, I will say, I'll go to events, and I just choose when green flag is clicked. Let me just use the first one. When green flag is clicked, I want this card to say hello. So let me see when I want it to say hello, I'm going to automatically go to looks. And I say, green flag is clicked, say hello for 2 seconds. But I want it to say hello world. So I'm just going to click inside hello here. Then I type what I want. I say hello world, like that. This is the easiest bit of programming. So when I click the green flag here, it's going to say hello world. So it's just, this is a very, very basic. It's not even speaking, but this is your first program. After making it to say hello, just save. So you click, you come here where there is Sprites project, and then you just remove Sprites project, and you just say, I just want you to type hello world here, or my first project. This is naming. Each project you make, you have to name, to give it a name. So, okay, let me just call this hello world, since it's hello world, not my, so I say this is hello world, hello world. And then after naming it, you click on file, and then you save to your computer. Save to your computer. You have, if you don't want to lose your work, you always have to save it. So mine is I'm saving it to my desktop, and then it's there. So I see Ronald. Ronald, if you have a question, please go ahead and speak. But this is now our first project. We now want to go to the next project. I hope everyone is okay with this. Let me see. If you have already made your hello world, just text in the chat. Text in the chat and say you've made hello world, and then we move on. Now, after saying hello world, then we now want to make the card to move. Let's move, let's get to move. So what you have to know is something for us humans, we are programmed by God. We work continuously. So we have the software, we have already the instructions written in us. That's why we can work continuously. So, but for the cat, if you also want it to work continuously, you have to give it an instruction to always go forever, or to repeat whatever you want it to do. Maybe if you want it to repeat for 10 times, you have to give it that instruction such that whenever that program is called, it will happen. So to do that, you have to always go to control. I go to control here, and then under control, I have wait 1 second, repeat 10. You can always change this 10 to even 100, whichever number you want. Then we have forever. I want to use forever for this example. So I'm going to say forever. Forever do what? I want this card to work continuously, to work forever without stopping until when I stop it actually. So I say I go to motion and I get move. Can change this to any number you want. Let me make it 4 or let me make it 5. Any number that you like. Then I told you that if you want, this is just a picture, but to make it to have motion in it, or to make it to appear as if it's a normal, it's a movie or something which is more realistic, you use frames, as someone mentioned in the chat. Here in Scratch, we call them costumes. So you go to looks and you say next costume. Move to the next costume such that it appears as if it's, if without this, let me show you what happens without this. So when I click the green flag, it will say hello world, then it just glides. This is just like gliding, it's not even walking. But if you want it to appear, let me just bring it back and first stop here. So if I want her to walk normally, I just say next costume. And when I click the green flag, it's now going to be as if it's walking. Maybe if I change this to 1 to make it go slower, to make sense. So, but this is not the best that you have to have, because there are only 2 costumes here. I only used 2 costumes. Now, let's try now to make this this cut to, because you realize when it goes to the edge, it doesn't come back. Now, we want to bring in the element of, we are not starting with sensing right now, but you can say, you can either go to edge and say if touching, you can put an obstacle here. Then if touching, then you use, if touching edge, like we have edge here. But since I don't want to start with if statements right now, we are going to learn that maybe in the next few minutes. But for now, just go to motion and use if on edge, which is here, which is a very simple line. It's just 1 line if statement. Say if on edge, bounce. And then you can, since the head, when it comes back, it just rotates and the head goes down. But to stop that, you have to say still set rotation style. Set rotation style here. And you put it inside the forever and then just say left, right, like that. Let's try out that. This is now, this should be easy. Let us try out that. And if you've done it, then just text in the chat. Wow, thank you very much, Maurice, for joining us from Liberia again, or Basheba. All right, cool. So we hope everyone, if you have tried to come up with what I've done so far, you just feel free to text in the chat. So I also want to know that you're actually doing this. And don't you worry if you're not able to use your phone as you're listening in, then we are also going to send you the video of this recorded video such that you can go through. But if you feel like you can practice as we go on, then you can always let me know that you've made this. And don't just do what I'm doing. Try to add other things. Be curious. Try to be creative, because this is all about this whole program. We want you to open up your mind. We want you to do things that I believe that after training you, you're going to be better than me, and you're going to be better than our instructors. So that's why we want you, whenever we teach you, don't stop at what we have taught you. Try to find out. Try to do something which I have not done. And if you fail, ask me. Feel free to ask us, send us email, send us WhatsApp, send us text here and be like, I was trying to do this, but I failed to do it. So if you're, as I'm teaching here, you can also be trying out. And if you fail, you let me know. So now my cat is just, it's moving too fast. I don't know why. So let me try to maybe say 0.5, 0.1. And so there are there are very few questions that I have, and that's why that's happening. But then that's the first program, and I hope everyone can do it. If you can't do it, raise up your hand and I go through what you haven't understood. So I see Barnabas, you have a question. Please go ahead. Just unmute yourself and ask. Kenny says, how do I put forever in the code area. Very good. I like such questions. You come here to control, and then under control, we have forever here. The first one is wait, repeat. Then when you get forever, you just click on it. If you're using a computer, you click using the left key, then you move it using the right hand, moving it this side. If you're using a phone, you just use one finger to drag it to the code area. And after putting it here, let me just first move this. Now imagine I had my code like this, and I wanted to put forever from move here. I would just get the forever this side, then I just place it like that. As long as you see the shadow coming, it means that when you release, it will now collect these programs, and they are the ones which are going to be happening forever. I didn't want the hello world to happen forever. That's why I didn't put hello world inside forever. So what you only put what you want to appear inside forever, inside the forever, as you're seeing like that. If I'm too fast, please just text in the chat. I know there are different age groups, and I also know that some of us may be in a place where there is a lot of noise and you may fail to understand. But if you're not understanding, just tell me, just text in the chat and say, sir, please try to go. My name is Solomon. You can just say, Solomon, please go slow, and then I will go slow such that no one is left behind. Okay, now let's get going, since people can now do this. I see Kenny, I hope I have answered your question. If you still have any more questions, raise up your hand. If you are answered, then you can lower your hand. So let's proceed now. Now let me add the background. Let me add the background to this card. Background, you just go to stage. This is stage. So down here, I can choose, I'm just going to choose the background, which is there. I'm not going to download from the internet for now. So I click here, and I'll just look for the background which really pleases me. I like this. I like this this one. So I'm going to choose this one, and I just get my cat. I place my cat down here, or I can place so she can move from there. You can choose any. I want everyone to choose their own background. Yes, Ethan, I put a background. Yes, put it. Teacher, can you send the WhatsApp number again? Okay, let me send, but we are going to send you the link to the WhatsApp group for this cohort. So the number is +2567522222069. Okay, now let's proceed. Just put a background. So if you want to say something, you raise up your hand, then I will unmute you. Barnabas, if you want. But let me see. Kenny, you want to say something? Please unmute yourself. Okay, seems you've already spoken. Now, what I was trying to say, this now I put my background. For now, you always see whenever you're playing a game, or whenever you see the animations, or when you're in a car, first of all, you see as if the background or the outside of the car is moving while you're in a taxi, while you're in a car, while you're in a motorbike. You'll always see as if the trees are moving. So that's what we call a moving background, which we are going to be seeing in the future, in the near coming days. But for now, we just have a stagnant background, which is a picture. It doesn't move. There's no animal which is being seen moving. It's not so realistic, but for now you can use them. And we are going to show you how to make the backgrounds which move, and to make they make the environment look realistic. So can I share a screen? It's okay. You answered my question. Thanks, Kenny. Let me allow. Okay, Ethan, I'm giving you 30 seconds to share your screen. Let me stop sharing mine. So you can share your screen and we see what you want to say. Wow. Wow, wow, I love that. So you have actually made it to move. It's not working nicely because it only has two costumes. So you're going to also, I'm challenging you to use other sprites. There are sprites which have more costumes. Just like, let me give you an example. This guy here, try Avery. Avery has more costumes. When I use Avery will appear as if she's walking. So let's try to add the program to Avery. Let me change this background. It looks boring anyway. So let me see this. So now let me try Avery, which Avery has more costumes. And I'm just going to go through the same instructions very fast. What I did, I went to events. I said when green flag is clicked, this time I'm not going to talk. Okay, let me now introduce another concept. Should I introduce the concept of speaking? Yeah. So what I want now, just if you may pay attention, I want now Avery to speak, maybe using her, let's hear Avery. So to hear Avery, I'm going to go, you have to go to extensions. Extensions, this is a blue button or a blue link here down here. When you click it, you're going to see other extensions like music, pen, video sensing, text to speech, translate, Maki, microbit, Lego. Some of these we shall do them when we start robotics. But for now, I just want you to select the text to speech. When you select text to speech, you're going to be able to now make your animation to say something. How do we put the background, please? Okay, I'm going to answer that. How do you know if a character has more costumes? I'm going to answer that. So now to add a background, here, this part here is for adding a sprite. But the last one here, at the last end on your right, we have choose a backdrop. So when you click choose a backdrop, you can select any which you like. You can either select from by going to their topics here. And if you want to music, you can go there. If you want sports, you can get there. So for me, I just chose outdoor, and I got a boardwalk, which I'm using in my animation. Then let me answer the next question. So then Ivan, I was asking how. Let me just maybe go through the question once again. How do you know if a character has more costumes? So if a character has more costumes, for example, the characters which are already here, you just click on this. Then you see when I put my finger out, okay, my cursor over, when I hover my cursor over Abby, you see Abby trying to, so you can see that Abby has costumes which can enable her to try to move her hands and be as if she's communicating. Then Amon, when I hover over Amon and Amon does nothing, I will know that Amon has only one costume. When I come on Andy, Andy shows me he has costumes which can enable him to do that. And Nina can dance. And that's how you can know that a costume has many, or a character has many costumes. I hope that answers your question. So now let me proceed. So here I said we want to make her to talk, and you have to do that by going to extensions and getting this text to speech extension to be here, such that you can speak. You type in the words, then you let her speak what you want her to say. So for example, let me just say when green flag is clicked, I want her to speak. So before doing this, you have to set the voice, the language, and then you put in the words. So I want her to, the first thing I'm going to do is to set the language. If you want her to speak Japanese, she will choose Japanese. But for me, I want English because I don't know Japanese. So set language to English, then set voice, accent. You want her to speak like a man, you want her to speak like an old person, or you want her to speak like, so we have a few selections which we can get from. We have auto, tenor, quick, giant, kitten. So I'll just go with auto and then I speak. So what do I want to speak? I want to say, hello, 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 baby cat. Can you race with me? So this is what is going to speak. This is what you've commanded this Avery to do. So let's try and see. But before that, after speaking, when you say, let me say green flag and you say, this guy will speak.
Hello, baby cat. Can you race with me?
So that's if we chose maybe, for example, if we selected tenor and we said green flag.
Hello, baby cat. Can you race with me?
So you choose. But now here you even don't know. You won't know that it's actually Avery who is speaking because Avery's mouth is not moving. Those are costumes. You have to enable the mouth, the teeth to show as if they are moving, as if someone is really talking. But now that's not the stage for today. We are going to get to that maybe tomorrow or Wednesday to now start making costumes to talk. And as their mouth is also opening and closing. So now I want Avery to, after speaking, I want her to talk, to walk. So I go to control and I say forever. And after getting forever, I want her to change costume, to just change costume. So I go to next looks and I get next costume, put it inside here. And why this cat is, actually why this cat is moving, you can't just, the legs are appearing as if they are running in a weird way because whenever you're walking as you, whenever, maybe if I can use, whenever Ivan is walking, you can't just put the legs in front without waiting. You first put one leg in front, wait for maybe 1 second or 2 seconds before putting the other. So let me show you what I mean. Let me first just go to the cat one more time and I add the weight here. So I go to control and I wait. I put here weight, maybe 0.1 second or 0.2. So the cat can appear as if it's moving, then I put 10 seconds here, or maybe 8 seconds. So you see now it's appearing as if it is walking, because when you throw the leg in front, one leg in front, the other one has to wait for at least 1 second before the other can come in. So let's come back to Avery. I see I have some questions. How do you click the green flag? The green flag is right here, just up here, sorry. You just click on it, it's right here. This is stopping the project, the red flag. Sorry, I didn't talk about that, but this is to stop your game. This is the green flag.
Hello, baby cat. Can you race with?
So, but if you don't, if you had selected, some of you have chosen other events, maybe if spacebar is clicked. So if you've chosen, if spacebar is clicked, you don't click the green flag, you just click the spacebar on your computer. If you selected when this sprite is clicked, when I click on this sprite, so I think just to illustrate this, let me use when this sprite is clicked for Avery. So let me remove the when green flag is clicked. So this means that whenever I click on Avery,
hello, baby cat, can you race with me?
Then she does that. And now we want, after next costume, we want to wait. So we go to control and get the weight 1 second. You can change it to any, that may I like, maybe let me use 0.6. And after that, you can say move. You can tell Avery to move, maybe 5 steps. So let's see what happens when I click on her. This time I said when this sprite is clicked, that's why I'm not clicking here, a green flag. So I'm clicking
hello,
on
baby
her.
cat, can you race with me?
After speaking, then starts making steps ahead. So let me try to answer. I saw a question coming in. Tendo says, when I pick sprites, they don't come out. Kindly help. I don't know, maybe if you're using the online version, sometimes maybe the internet, it may take time. it may take quite a while, maybe a few seconds to come. You have to be patient. But if you're using the offline version, then it just has to come out very quickly. Just like you can see when I want this but, when you're using the offline, they are already there on the computer, so or on the phone. They have to always come. Maybe try to, if you're using the offline version, try to be a little bit patient, it will come. Sorry about that. So let me delete. This is how I delete what I want. I just click on what I don't want. I click on this bucket here. Now, looks like we have made our first adventure into coding, and now we want to really improve and maybe to get forward. So you can now add a simple, background. You can add you can make it to say without even, just basically, you know how to use the text to speech. You can also make it to change the costume, which is really good. You can make it to actually put a story, to make a story by just using the say hello under looks, say hello, or just say this, or think. These are also easy. We shall use them anyway. So let's now get to, if you have any question at this point, please raise up your hand or just text in the chat before we can proceed. I don't want to move. So Ethan, you can unmute, just click unmute and speak.
How do you save your work?
How you save your work? So let me go through that. The first thing you do now, this one I'm going to call it maybe every work. You just click here, up here where there is project. Are you seeing where there is this project title here on your screen? When you click inside here and you just put the name of your project, and then click on file. After naming if you can put the name here, or you will name it from after clicking file is here, then click save to your computer. After clicking save to your computer, let me just first share my entire screen for it to be seen properly. So let me share my entire screen. Cool. So what I was trying to say, when I click file here, then I save to your computer, you're going to see this. So I don't know which, if you're using a phone, it will do something like this will come. If you're using a computer, you're also going to be seeing something like this. So then this may be different on your computer. Me, I'm using an Apple computer, that's why it brings me this, but maybe on a Windows computer, this will appear on the left and you'll be able to put the name. I can change the name here, then this dot has to be there, then you click on save. I want it to go to downloads, that's why. If I wanted it to go to desktop, I click here, then I look for desktop, which is here, and I click save, but mine, I want it to be saved under downloads. So I look for downloads, then I click save, and then it's going to be saved. I hope I've answered you, Ethan. So let's see. I have a question, Rian. My character is moving too fast. So if it's moving too fast, try to check the move. If maybe you put mine are 5 steps, that's why it's moving slowly. Let me just get her back by going to motion so I can show you. Motion, and I say if on edge bounce. And then I say to rotate left to right. This has to be there such that she comes back upright. So I hope that you can change. Rian, try to change the steps you're moving. Under move, mine are 5. You can change this to 3. You can change it to 4, 5. The more the steps, the faster the person. So then we have, you can always stop it by clicking this red button here. Then Farid there is a stop button next to the, very good. I like the collaboration that is blooming out of this. Now, let's proceed. Let's proceed. So this is our first, if you haven't understood before I go to the next stage, please text in the chat, raise up your hand, ask what you've not understood. and then we shall help you. For now, I want to move on now to something else to try to understand now how we can use this other. Maybe I'll give you, let me give you 1 minute. If you can grab a cup of coffee, let's take 1 minute. Grab a cup of coffee, just go and take some water. I'm also going to go and do the same. Refresh, just go outside and stretch yourself. We shall restart at 16. Let's give it 2 minutes. 16, after 2 minutes, you're going to restart. Just feel free, breathe in and out, just move out of your house, breathe in and out, take water, get refreshed, then come back and we can resume. I hope this is going to help you to also reflect on what we've done before. So let's take 2 minutes. We shall restart at 16:25. So in 2 minutes, we shall be starting another project. I can see Ronald. Ronald, you have something to say. You can please say. Unmute yourself and say. Otherwise, let me also go and grab some cup of coffee. We shall share the link to the WhatsApp group with you via email or WhatsApp after this session. Don't you worry. Let me also grab some cup of coffee within the remaining 1 minute. I can see Ethan wants to share a screen. So we have 30 seconds left. You can share your screen before we restart. Okay, you can unmute. Sorry, I forgot to do that. You can unmute.
Teacher, when I go to my file where I saved the work, it shows code. This is why I saved my project. Okay, now try to open with. You don't open it like that because it will now show you that's the computer language. That's what the computer sees. For you, you won't be able to read that. First,
I'll cancel that and I show you. First, right click on Ethan. Open with. Okay, it doesn't bring Scratch. Okay, now just when you want to open it, go to Scratch. Just go to Scratch. That may be hard for you. So click on File and click Load from your computer. Now look for it from there.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah, then click Open. Now just click Open down here. Okay.
Is that okay?
Yeah. Is that a project?
Yes.
Yeah,
Just
so
come.
that's how you can open it. You always go to File, then Open from computer.
Yes.
Have you now understood how to open it?
Yes.
Perfect. Do you have any other question?
No.
All right, let's give a chance
Thank
to
you.
Tendo. Welcome. Tendo, you have a question. I see your hand raised up. Please unmute yourself. I have allowed you to speak, and then you share with what you, but then also just unmute yourself, Tendo. Michael, if you have something to say.
Excuse me, sir.
Yes, please.
It's okay if I share my screen.
Yeah, go ahead. Go ahead. Wow.
Sir,
Yes.
hey,
That's awesome.
hey.
That's awesome. That's really good. Though now you need to now make it. You can have more and more characters, or to have the use the change color effect to maybe put some disco light in your birthday stage. So that's really cool. Let's now do. I like the curiosity. You see, Tendo was doing what I had not even spoken about, and that's what we want everyone. Those we call them surprise. So I also want you to be giving me surprise projects like that. I'll be giving you a chance. Now let me just stop this. I finished this, so I just click File and New Project since I already saved it. And I want to now do something with. I want you to go to Extensions, and I want you to select. Let's do the video sensing. Yeah, we are going to definitely do to make games. Maybe we shall make one game today, a very simple game. So I go to Extensions and you click on video sensing. I just want to talk about this for a short while. Now here you can actually make your game, someone to play your game without even touching the laptop or touching the phone, by just using the commands of the hand. You get it? For example, let me try to make this cat to respond to my hands or to the movement of my eyes. You can make it to respond to what you say. So let me just give an example here. I say, when video motion is greater than maybe 10, what I'm going to do is turn on my charger. So what I'm going to do when the video motion, the motion of how fast you take your hands or maybe the eyes or whatever you're using, if you're using your key holder to play, how fast you move the key holder is how the project should respond. So what I want to do, let me delete the cat. I don't need the cat. Let me just use, let me get another sprite. And maybe let me get this ball, the ball, and I will just increase the size of the ball so you can see. I click here where there is size, then I just maybe change it to 400 such that you can see it better. Yeah, that should do. Now, what I want is when I move my hand this side, the ball should go by so I can make my ball to go this side by just telling it like that or go the other side. So what I will do is I say when video motion is greater than maybe 10, and or the first thing I can say is when green flag is clicked, maybe I need to go to video sensing and I turn on. You turn on the video because initially maybe the video will not be on. And to turn off the video, I will say when, let me say, I go to events and I say when I click T, when key T, let me see T is down here, I look for it. When key T is pressed, I will turn off. So I will just come to video sensing and I get the turn video and I change this from on to off like that. So when I click T, my video goes. When I click the green flag, the video will come and then someone who is appearing, who is playing the game will be able to be seen in there. So now let's get to what I want us to know. So this is really not going to help me. It's just to turn off and on. So I'll keep it down here so I can make my program here. Now what I want is, you can also adjust the transparency, but that doesn't matter for now. This is for transparency. So when video motion is greater than 20, I'm just going to change, so I'll see, I'll first get the forever anyway. Forever, because I want it to happen continuously. Then the next thing I'm going to do is to go to motion and I say change X by 10, so it goes the other side. So I want it to say, let me first get when video motion or when direction. Let me use direction on Sprite. So I'll also use when direction on Sprite to make it maybe yeah. So it changes direction when it's too fast anyway. So let me change this when it's greater than, when the motion is greater than maybe 50 or 100, such that it's not so sensitive. There it's really, this is too much. So let me say 50. And I try. Okay, let's try 20. It's too sensitive. So you keep on trying, Now this, is it responding to how I talk? It's responding to the movement of my lips and then even my head. So someone can be making the ball to go the other side just by moving their head. And then when they stop, then it also stops moving. So let me try to restart. So someone says, teacher, my Sprite doesn't have video sensing. If it doesn't have video sensing initially it's not, it's down here. there is this icon which is down. Maybe try to share your screen and I see. Just try to share your screen and I see what you're talking about. Or if you've already gotten it, then you can also just let me know. Was that Tendo who was asking? No, it was Barnabas. Okay, if yours doesn't have video sensing, share your screen and I show you where it is. Let anyone share. Very good. Okay, anyone going to share? I think, yes. Oh, you're using Scratch. You prefer Scratch 2.0. So this is the old Scratch. That's why you're not seeing extensions in there. But let me see, and this is the old Scratch. I don't know why you preferred Scratch to 2.0. Is this who is sharing the screen? Let me unmute you. So is it Rian? Let me see. So just raise up your hand so I can unmute you too. But I prefer if you use Scratch. Scratch 2.0 may not have the extensions that we are going to use. But if you use Scratch 3.0, the link that I gave you, you will be able to get the extensions. This one doesn't have extensions, but don't worry, we are not going to do a lot about extensions today. So maybe you can just follow through, and when you install the Scratch, which has the latest version of Scratch, which has extensions, you'll be able to proceed with what we were talking about. Okay, you can now stop sharing your screen. Maybe let me reshare the link to the Scratch, latest version of Scratch. So you can use that. Okay. Nice. So if there's no one else who wants to share their screen to show me, then I'll proceed. Okay, we have Ethan. Ethan already has extensions. Extensions is just right there down. And try it out, try to move. So you said video direction on Sprite, yeah, greater than 50. Ethan, we are not hearing you. You can unmute
Why is
yourself.
it not working? When I click the flag, it doesn't work.
When you click, now try moving the hands. Try moving your hands over the camera like this. Do you have, okay, change. Now, don't say change size. You say change, go to motion and change X, not size, go to motion. Just go down, X is there, change X by 10 is there.
Sorry.
Yes, yeah, that's what you're supposed to use. Okay, first click the red button. And start. Click the red button such that it stops.
Maybe I restart.
Okay, you restart if it has frozen. Okay, if anyone else is also facing a challenge, let's, but anyway, time is going. So let's give this only 1 minute, then we can try to make a game such that people can walk away trying to make a little game before tomorrow we do better. Someone says teacher shared, okay, share the screen, share that. So whenever you're ready, maybe let me be continuing. When it fails again, Ethan, just please let me know. Let me proceed as you're restarting your project. So someone said, okay, let me stop. This guy is already moving. Let me just save him. And I say video sensing. I want you to come up with better video sensing games. Not only this is just an example. I will share with you a video of how someone, let me just maybe share with you someone making let me share with you something which will give you inspiration for video sensing. So
with the bowls, every time that they would come over, they would get like a little animation. And so here you can see that I'm fiddling a lot of sprites up to the positions of the bowls. Every time that they would come over, they would get like a little animation. And so here you can see that I'm fiddling a lot of sprites up to the positions of the bowls. Every time that they would come over, they would get like a little animation. And so here you can see that I'm fiddling a lot of sprites up to the positions of the bowls. Every time that they would come over, they would get like a little animation. And so here you can see that I'm fiddling a lot of sprites up to the positions of the bowls. Every time that
this lady, I don't know whether it's clear to you, but she made, she used video sensing to make her cats to play this game. She made, go to your cats. Let me just restart.
Sprites up to the positions of the bowls. Every time that they would come over, they would get like a little animation. And so here you can see that I'm fiddling a lot of sprites up to the positions of the bowls. Every time that they would come over, they would get like a little animation.
What they made is,
and so here you can see that I'm fiddling a lot.
You can make an animal. They made a
cat
to play a game using video sensing. So whenever the cat would move, the bowls would open and then close. So you can make a lot. It's all about opening up your minds and getting more ideas of how to of what you really want to make, then it will really be exciting. You have to make something which you are passionate about, not what we are actually telling. For us, we are just trying to give you an example of how you can do it. So someone is saying we can see it. Cool, Ethan. I have been having problems with the computer today. Sorry about that. Don't worry. Today we have just been doing introductions. It's only tomorrow that we are going to now start maybe coding. But today it's all about introducing the interface. So I see, teacher, I have the same version, 3.2. That's cool. I have been having problems with the computer. Sorry about that. I hope you get that. If you have challenges, you can let me know so I can guide you how to help you. So let me stop this. I already saved this and I start a new project. Because of time, we only have 10 minutes. So within 10 minutes, let me just do a simple game. So in this game, let me turn off my video. Okay. So now I just want to make a simple game which maybe, let me try to think about an idea and which game I can make in a few minutes. In 10 minutes. So let me go to which game can I make? So let me make a ball which has to be, okay, you have to be eating, maybe knocking the random fruits to get a mark. So what I want, the idea is this ball, let me get a sprite which I want. And I just need to have maybe a broom. Or I need, let me look for a sprite which will make this for more fun. So let me use a magic wand. Let me delete the cat. I don't need the cat. So I have to use my magic wand here, and I need hearts. So if I hit on the heart, I get a mark. Or if I click, I have 3 hands raised up, so I think I need to give this attention. Let me give attention to the first hand was, let's have, okay, Ethan, then we shall have Tendo, then Barnabas. Just unmute and speak within 1 minute. We have no much time. We have less time, so you can speak, ask your question, then we...
How do you move that video?
You just come here where there's video sensing, then click, I think where there's turn video, then click inside here and click on off, then click it like that, then it's going to go. Then the next, yes, go ahead.
Teacher, I was saying that I have the same version 3.2, 4.0, but it doesn't have video sensing.
You share your screen and I see. Share your screen. Now, you go to the icon which has blue, the other side on the down, go down, that one, click. Then look for video sensing there. Click.
Yeah, I found it.
Yeah, that's how you find it. Next person. Okay, now before you stop your screen, just try to show Mugenyi how to add a background. Just demonstrate, explain to us how to add the background. I can see his question.
Okay, teacher. Here you go here on here down where my mouse is. You tap it to bring all the kinds of backgrounds like basketball 1, basketball 2, baseball, and all the other things.
Then you select it and you choose. Good. So I hope again, you can try that out. Okay, thank you very much. The last question. There's no question. Okay, for instance, how do we remove the video? Okay, I meant, how do they remove the background? Removing which background? Maybe try to illustrate. Not getting you clearly, but you can share your screen. Good. Okay, let me unmute you. Let me just keep your hand up so I can see where you are and I unmute you. Okay, you can unmute yourself now. Unmute yourself and speak. Okay, Ethan wants to help. Okay, Ethan, Tendo also wanted to be unmuted. I have unmuted Tendo. So Ethan, if you can help, please. I think you can share your screen and you help about that. Sorry about that. You don't have a mic. Sorry about that, but I hope we can be able to help you. We have tried to understand your concern. So if you're sharing your screen, just raise up your hand, I unmute you.
Isn't there supposed to be something here? Like when you choose a character, there's supposed to be something here. Also where the backdrop is.
What do you mean that something here? When you choose a back.
Like for example, I get bananas.
Yeah.
Then the backdrop, isn't it like supposed to be here?
No, the backdrop is a stage. Here you're only supposed to see sprites, which can be moved. Backdrop, so stage doesn't move.
Okay.
Yeah. So maybe because of time, we shall not be able to do a game today. I see only 5 minutes left for us, but let me now try to ensure that everyone goes back when they are sorted. So I see, how do I remove a background? How do I remove a background? I still don't know what you're talking about. Try to text in the chat. Try to explain in the chat. Let me also take questions. Whoever, let me just unmute, and anyone can now speak. Let me unmute everyone, allow everyone to unmute, allow participants to unmute themselves. Okay, if you want to speak now, just let's use this remaining 4 minutes to ask questions. Unmute yourself.
Excuse me, sir.
Yes.
Excuse me. How come my ball moves before I move?
Your ball move, maybe because of the, you see me, I was trying to reduce, you can reduce the, what we call, if you reduce the figure which is in there, maybe to a lower figure, the sensitivity. If it is maybe 10, it's going to be more sensitive. That even if it's if something just passes, it's going to move. But if you increase the sensitivity to maybe 50 or 20, then it will wait for you to move the hand before it can. So try to play around with those figures and then see, keep on trying different figures and see the sensitivity that you really want. Yes, let's get.
Excuse me, teacher.
Go ahead. Go ahead, please.
I was asking, like, on the other one, when we were making the cat to move, I was asking, how do you make the cat to move continuously?
By using,
Like, when does
you go to control and use forever.
okay, teacher. And another question is, like, when I want to start, after making the, when you click the green flag, it says hello world. Then how do I start the second, like the second code?
For the same
Not to be attached to the other one.
you can just start it from anywhere, as long as you put the event.
Okay.
Yeah. Anyone, next person, just go ahead, unmute yourself and speak.
I think I found another website to remove the backdrop.
Oh, you can share your screen and tell us and show us. So I see, I know they remove, I know how they remove the background. Whoever knows, then you can please, I didn't just get his question. Very good. Farid says you use forever for continuous. Perfect. You've really understood. Oh, you are meaning removing.
You go here,
Yes, yes, yes.
then you go back to code. Now it's off.
Perfect. The other way, first get a background and I also show you the other way. Just get a backdrop. And so just click on backdrops just after code. No, the other side on your left. Code, backdrops, Then just click on the first one, which is white. The first one on the left. No, on the left. On the left panel at the extreme end, there are those 1, 2, one has no backdrop. So you click on it, then the white is going to come this side and it has no backdrop. That's how you can go around it. Or you can delete backdrops from backdrops there. I hope I've answered you, that person who was asking that question. So let me have one last question, or if you want to give comments, or maybe we are going to start doing games tomorrow. Today it's already 5 p.m. and we know you have other programs at home. So I want any question or any comment to summarize how was this session and what are you expecting to learn more tomorrow? Have you, out of 10, how much have you learned today? And then what do you expect tomorrow? Let me get someone with such a comment or closing remark, then we shall restart tomorrow. Who is willing to volunteer? Just go ahead.
Teacher.
Yes.
Teacher, is there a way that you can send us? Is there a way that you can send
Ivan, you're breaking. I can't hear you very well.
in case at the time of the meeting we have the meeting, in case at the time of the meeting, is there you can send us a video of the meeting of the the time that we have another lesson.
You mean sending you the recorded video of this meeting?
Yes.
Yeah, we are going to send you the recorded this video and also send you some PowerPoint slides which we use today for you to go through the notes. Every day we send you the video and the notes to go through before the next day.
I was asking about the WhatsApp group. Where are you going to send? Where are you going to send the links?
Via if you registered using your phone number, we shall send you via number. If you registered using your email, you get via email. But if
okay,
but our WhatsApp number is let me type it in the chat. All right, so if there are no questions or comments, let's meet tomorrow at the same time. The same link, you're going to be using the same link for the 6 days. And we shall be meeting at 3 p.m. East African time every day. All right. So I wish you, someone wants to say something. I see Tendo, you want to say something before we go?
A nice time.
All right then. See you tomorrow. Have a good evening.
No.
Please practice.
Okay.
Yeah, practice.
Good evening.
Just a password for the meeting.
The password for the what?
The passcode is 2001, 2021.
Yeah, 2021. You cannot.
Like tomorrow. Teacher, tomorrow are we going to like have a different link?
No, it's the same link. It's the same. Okay, then have a good evening. Thank you for joining us today, and we meet tomorrow at 3 p.m. You can
Excuse me, sir.
invite your friends to. You have the link where you used for registering for this camp. Your friends at your school to also apply. And they also get it. Yes, please.
Excuse me, sir.
Yes, Nicholas.
Is there where do we get from the links?
The link to what?
Like the link like the WhatsApp group link.
We are going to send you via email or WhatsApp today.
Okay.
Nicholas.
All right, all right. Okay, then see you guys. I'm just going to end this meeting, and I wish you lovely. The practice tomorrow surprise me. I want someone to make something, and you surprise me. Fabian, you have something to say?
Bye, teacher.
Bye.
No.
See you tomorrow.